What's up guys, it's Kirk from LaneFlix Media. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my personal experiences with Tron Legacy and Blade Runner 2049. I really like both these movies. They're both really awesome sci-fi, like modern sci-fi movies. Blade Runner I was not entirely familiar with for a while, and then for my 21st birthday I actually got to see Blade Runner 2049 with my dad, which was really fun. And Tron Legacy I certainly saw in the theater several times. So both movies I've seen in the theater, both really solid action. Tron Legacy more action, but both sci-fi films. There's quite a few similarities between the two new installments of Blade Runner and Tron. Blade Runner 2049 revolves around the idea that whether or not a replicant can have a child, and if it can, does that make it the next step of human evolution? And Tron Legacy is more in the vein of real-world savior coming to liberate the computer world. So they're a little bit different, but they're both kind of messianic main characters. And truthfully, Blade Runner is a little bit more depthful because Ryan Gosling's character decides to be a hero or contribute to the greater good anyway, even though he's not special, even though he's not this big savior guy. Both of these movies revived after decades two beloved 80s sci-fi movies, Tron and Blade Runner. I'm doing a comparison video of the first two films and these two films. I'm working on it, but I'm still editing it. I shot like hours of stuff a few weeks back. That is coming, but I just wanted to talk a little about these two movies today. We'll start with Tron Legacy. And I was not super familiar with Tron Legacy or Tron when the first one came out. I think I had seen Tron once before Tron Legacy came out, but I wasn't super sure of how the story would play out or what kind of different devices or computer terminology we would be like experiencing. I just kind of went in expecting a solid, like, weird sci-fi action movie, and it was. It was very different. It was super reliant on the visuals more than really the story. The story's pretty bland. It's just like the first one. The story kind of comes after the effects, which in Tron Legacy actually it works pretty well. It's not a great movie, but it's a good reboot, and it's also, it looks amazing. And the soundtrack is the thing that stood out, I think, the most, other than like the visual effects of the film. It revived, I don't want to say completely revived Daft Punk, but it definitely was partly responsible for people of my generation enjoying Daft Punk's music. And it was a big deal to people my age because then we went back and watched the old Tron. And has its merits. It is very different, and it's not Tron Legacy. They're two super different movies. Knowing that, and if you have respect for original movies, if you have a sense of purism, then check it out. The first one's not great, but it's cool for what it stands for, and the message, the base message of the movie is cool too. It's kind of like Spartacus or Gladiator. So on to Blade Runner 2049. So like I said, I saw Blade Runner 2049 in the theater with my father, who liked Blade Runner, but he wasn't like a nut for Blade Runner. He wasn't overly like a fan of the franchise or anything. He just kind of likes sci-fi stuff, so he enjoys Blade Runner. And my brother loves Blade Runner, the first Blade Runner, so I like it. I respect Blade Runner for what it is, but I do think the original Blade Runner is overrated, and I know I'm going to be crucified for saying that, but I understand what it means, and it is a very important movie. It should be preserved, all that good stuff. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying it's overrated. Blade Runner 2049, on the other hand, was very underrated in my opinion. To me, it takes what works from the first film, builds on them, takes what doesn't work and gets rid of it, or like pushes it to the side and doesn't make it a factor in the main story. I don't really want to get into the details because it's just going to be spoilers. Just watch it. If you're a fan, if you're not a fan, if you enjoy solid, slow burn sci-fi, check out Blade Runner 2049. The bigger difference being that the story arc that Rutger Hauer's character undergoes in the first film is a little bit more adopted into Ryan Gosling's character in this film. So he's a little bit more adjacent to the Rutger Hauer character, whereas Harrison Ford, the whole like question is whether or not he's a robot. It's kind of why he played like a jerk, cold character in the first one. It works for Ryan Gosling because he is a replicant from the beginning. There's no question about it. So there's hints later on that he might not be, but spoilers. But yeah, these are both movies that are reboots to vintage beloved sci-fi films that I really like, and I think both are pretty underrated. Tron Legacy got overshadowed by its soundtrack, whereas Blade Runner was overshadowed by the idea that it was trying to continue the Blade Runner story. There's supposedly some ongoing anime in development for Blade Runner. I talk about all this stuff in my comparison video too. Last I heard, there's a third supposed Tron film coming out. So yeah, video is coming soon, I promise. I've been working on it. I've been putting hours into it, editing it. So please, if you have any friends that like movie reviews and stuff, show on my channel, because I'm going to start uploading reviews hopefully a couple times a month, so that way new movies are popping up. I'm going to review old movies, new movies, just movies that aren't talked about a lot. I want to try to, and maybe a couple that are bigger, you know, but I want to try to stick to ones a lot of people haven't heard of, to try to spread the word and stuff. Also, if you have Instagram, if you have, I'm going to look into making a Snapchat for LaneFlix, but we are on Instagram and now on YouTube. So please tell all your friends, all your family, anybody that's into movies, tell them about our channel, please, because we're trying to spread the word, trying to tell more people about unknown, hidden gem type movies, and just talk to communities about Twin Peaks. We're going to talk about Twin Peaks this year, horror movies, action movies, all types of movies. So please, please, please like and subscribe, and comment what you thought about the video, and let me know if you have any movies you would like us to review here at LaneFlix Media. Thank you so much for watching. You have a wonderful day today.